Hi teachers, my name is John and today I'll show you how to grade your assignments with GradeWithAI 10 times faster. So today we're not going to work with Google Classroom in case you don't use Google Classroom, and we'll show you how you can use GradeWithAI to grade any assignment even if you don't use Google Classroom. So first we'll go to gradewithai.com and log in, and you'll land on this screen, and we'll click the Go to Uploaded Assignments button under Grade Without Connecting. So after clicking that button, we're going to land on this screen. So we're going to click our Create New Assignment. And here we'll give our assignment a name. So the assignment I want to grade today is a Spanish language essay where I've asked students to write an essay analyzing the effects of social media on youth. So I'm just going to name this assignment inside GradeWithAI, Spanish language essay, social media. And next, how are my submissions organized? So we have two options here. The first one is each student is one file, and the second one is all students in one file. So each student is one file means, let's say each student's submission is just its own file. So you would have, if you have 30 student submissions, so 30 students turn this assignment in, then you would have 30 files where each file is one student. And the second option is all students in one file. So for example, let's say you scanned in a test and you just have one big PDF. Let's say it's 30 pages, right? And let's say that each student's test is 2 pages long. So that means that we have 30 pages divided by 2 pages per student, which is 15 students. So you would click this button here and you would have to fill this out, pages per assignment. So again, let's say each student's work is 2 pages long, where front and back is 2. So we would type 2 here. So if you use this option, what we're going to do is we're going to take your PDF or Google Doc or docx file that you upload here or import from Google Drive, and we're going to split it into chunks of 2. And so we're going to end up, if there's 30 pages and we split it into chunks of 2 pages, we're going to end up with 15 student submissions, and we're going to grade each of those 15 submissions individually. So essentially we do the splitting for you. But in today's example, we're going to do each student is one file. So I'm going to upload the files that I want to grade. And here, you see our files are done uploading. We could have also imported these files from Google Drive. So for when importing from Google Drive, we support Google Docs, PDFs, or Word files. And same thing with uploading. We support PDFs and Word files when uploading. So next, we're going to go on to grading configuration. Here, the first option is max score. So it says the max score GradeWithAI will grade this assignment out of. So imagine if a student got 100% on this assignment. How many points is that worth? So if they got 20 out of 20, that's 100%. So we would just put 20 here. Next is grading rubric. So this is the rubric GradeWithAI will use to grade this assignment. So if I click this, we have a couple options. The first is we can generate a rubric with AI, which I'll show in a second. The second one is import rubric. So if I click this, I can import a rubric as a Google Doc, PDF, or Word file from my Google Drive. The third option is upload rubric. So I can either upload a PDF or Word rubric. So these two options here are if you already have a rubric you want to use. If you don't, no worries, you can use our AI-powered rubric generator. So first, you can see we've already pre-filled in the max score field to 20 because we filled that out here. Here, now we have to provide some generation instructions. So let's say that I want to give 6 points for content and arguments. So, that's the clarity of the thesis and soundness of the arguments. And let's say I want to do 4 points for organization. I want to do 6 points for grammar and language. And let's say I want to do 4 points for vocabulary and style. And I can be as specific or vague as I want because we can edit what GradeWithAI generates after. So we're going to give this a couple seconds. And what GradeWithAI is doing now is we're going to generate an analytic rubric. So that's the table-based rubric. And the reason we do this is it's the most objective form of grading. And GradeWithAI will consistently apply this rubric across each student so that, GradeWithAI never gets tired like us humans might, so it'll never be biased. And each student will receive the most fair grade possible. So we're going to give this a couple more seconds, and there we go. And this is done generating, so we can give this a name. So we'll say Spanish language essay, social media. So this will be saved to my rubric library so I can reuse it in the future. So here are the criteria. I can click to edit. I can click this to delete. I can click to edit, click the the scoring guides to edit them. I can click to edit the point values, etc. So we'll take a quick look. So thesis statement, excellent is 2 points. Thesis is clear, insightful, arguable, and provides a specific comprehensive guide for the entire essay. Looks good. Proficient is somewhat general. Needs improvement is missing, etc. And yeah, I think this looks pretty good to me. So I'll click save. And it's automatically selected here. And next is custom instructions. So let's say I want GradeWithAI to grade this assignment in a certain way. I can do that here. So I've already made one, but I'll create another one. So I'll say social media essay. And for this assignment, let's say I've asked the students to use MLA formatting. So I can tell GradeWithAI, ensure students used MLA formatting correctly. If not, deduct 2 points. So I'll click create, and new custom instruction created and selected. And here we have the grading options, so we'll do just grade. If you connect to Google Classroom, you'll see another option here, which allows you to sync these scores and feedback to Google Classroom, but for us, we'll do just grade. So now we're on the screen, and we'll click grade all. So this is going to start grading each student. And if you noticed before, when I click grade all, there was an option called include already graded students. So if you click this checkbox, even if students have already been graded within GradeWithAI, it'll grade them again. So this is useful when, let's say, you look through the results GradeWithAI gave you and you weren't quite satisfied. So you can check that checkbox and you updated your rubric or your custom instructions. You can check that checkbox and we'll regrade all of your students, even if they've already been graded with a new rubric and custom instructions. So we'll give this a couple seconds, and it looks like we have our score for Jake. So Jake got a 17 out of 20, and we can take a look at this feedback. So this is a very well written and thoughtful essay, Jake. You've tackled a relevant topic with clarity and a strong argumentative structure. And I can click view submission here to split screen Jake's submission here and GradeWithAI's feedback here on the right. So as I'm reading through this, I see thesis statement 2 out of 2 excellent. Your thesis statement is excellent. It is clear, arguable, and effectively outlines the main points of the essay. The pressure of image and the loss of time for study and rest. It provided a perfect roadmap for me as a reader. So I don't understand Spanish, so I can't really evaluate that. But as I look through this, I think it looks pretty good. It says here, your writing is very clear, but there are a few minor errors in grammar mechanics that are common at this level. Be careful with accent marks. There was also one key grammatical point. In this phrase, the verb should have been in the subjunctive mood. I don't even know what that means, but I think GradeWithAI knows more. So yeah, I think it looks pretty good to me. And we can take a look at John, who got 20 out of 20. My name's John, yay for me. But yeah, so as you also notice, before all of these students just said student 1, student 2, student 3, and now they have the actual name. And you might be wondering how we did that. And that's just because for each PDF, the student's name was here in MLA formatting. Therefore, we extract that name and make it easy for you to look through here. And we can also search. So let's say I want to find John. John will show up here. So let's take a look at Sophia. Let's say I don't really agree with this score. I can click this to edit the score. I can click the feedback to edit any part of the feedback, or I can request changes with AI. So the GradeWithAI says that Sophia got 1 out of 2 for the thesis statement. So let's take a look. Clicking view submission. Let's say I read through this. I think actually it's pretty good. And let's say request changes. I say give 2 out of 2 for the thesis. And now what GradeWithAI is going to do is it's going to regrade Sophia with our regrade instructions in mind. So now it's going to give 2 out of 2. For Sophia, and that's the key point of GradeWithAI. GradeWithAI will give you very, very good first draft grades, and all you have to do is review them. But we want to make sure that you, the teacher, is always in control because ultimately grading is still you know your students best, and therefore you're best suited to actually give feedback. And GradeWithAI is just trying to make that first pass a lot faster. So we're going to give this a bit more time to regrade, and there we go. We can see thesis statement 2 out of 2, and now I can copy feedback. I can look at the scores. I can export this as a CSV, and now it's going to be very easy for me to go back into whatever I use, be it Google Classroom, Canvas, Blackboard, Moodle, whatever, Schoology, and very quickly give this feedback and scores back to students, making your lives a lot easier, and your students will give feedback and scores a lot faster, which is crucial. Thank you so much for watching this video, and I hope GradeWithAI will save you some time this week.